Hello YouTube, this is Fortnite Fails, JayJay from channel JayJay coming back to you with another video. And this is me making a review on a video that Optimus has done about Boosie. So, I'm going to let him talk, I'm going to give my thoughts, and we're going to continue that all the way throughout the video. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell.
Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are going to be talking about Boosie. Now, there's a pretty good chance you either do know him or don't, okay? I either would be surprised or not surprised if you've heard of him. It's one of the only people ever where this has been the case with. It feels like the only reason that people know who this is because he constantly has these rants/rampages in which he'll say the most blatantly ignorant things possible and would just make a complete ass out of himself, or you don't know him and I'm stunned that you haven't seen one of these rants or whatever. And honestly, you're probably in a better position than all of us who do know him, because knowing what comes out of this guy's mouth is just like having a constant tumor in society. It's legitimately horrible. He's one of the only people that I can genuinely say if he got canceled, I would be kind of okay with that, because, I mean, frankly, the guy has outed himself for being just a piece of shit. That's the best way to put it. So, today we will be going over multiple things that Boosie has said that I just think people need to realize, right? People need to see this. Because this guy, I mean, it's not like he said something 5-6 years ago, people are digging it up out of Twitter, you know, trying to come out of nowhere and cancel him, right? Like, this guy just says off the wall, completely wreck shit all the time, has absolutely no regard for anything he's saying. He just says shit, and it's insane. So, I want to start with the first and most obvious one that we're going to be talking about here. So yesterday, if you follow me on Twitter at least, or if you saw it on your own, will remember that he kind of had a little bit of a situation unfold with Lil Nas X. If you don't know who Lil Nas X is, obviously, he's one of the biggest music artists on the planet right now. He's absolutely doing his thing. And here's a little well-known secret about Lil Nas X, okay? He may or may not be gay. Yes, I know that's hard to believe. There's gay people in the year 2021, and Lil Nas X happens to be one of them. So, Boosie is not too big a fan, though, of people being gay. In fact, he is what many would consider a homophobe, okay? He has on multiple occasions said some pretty crazy shit about gay people, but in specific, Lil Nas X, I mean, he said some pretty psychotic shit in all reality, and yesterday is absolutely no different, man. So, this all kind of started because, well, for months now, right, Boosie has been talking shit about Lil Nas X. It's been mostly, if not entirely, unwarranted. I have never seen anything where I guess Lil Nas X has antagonized this guy whatsoever, but regardless if he's been antagonized or not, Boosie is known as being one of the largest homophobes probably in modern society / the rap culture / the entertainment industry, and he got really upset because Lil Nas X posted this video to social media.
So I've been working on this song with Lil Boosie, bro. I had this song with Lil Boosie finna come out. Shit, fire, ain't even lie for it. Goddamn, song with Lil Boosie finna come out. Song with Lil Boosie finna come out.
Now, obviously, this was a joke, and he was kind of just making fun of Boosie because for months now, Boosie's been talking shit about him, has been complaining about pretty much his presence in society, and so he kind of just trolled him, right? It was completely harmless, you know, he didn't say like, oh, fuck Boosie, I'm gonna whip this dude's ass, like, he didn't say anything crazy, just a little joke, right? Well, Boosie literally lost his fucking marbles and decided that it was cool to tweet this. Stop trolling me, F-slur, LOL. You a whole bitch playing with a gangsta, SMH. You can keep sucking dick and getting beeped in your ass, and peace. And hashtag you hate yourself. I would too if I was you, LOL, Nas X. If you hashtag commit suicide, you would do this world a huge favor. Nobody wants you here. And as you can see by the screenshot, which of course is now deleted because
Optimus says that this tweet is oh so big and bad, it's so tragic. The sky is falling. At the end of the day, this is hip-hop. If you got a problem with what he said, you don't belong in hip-hop. He's not the first one to say faggot. Pac said faggot. LL Cool J said faggot. Cannabis said faggot. Eminem said faggot. And wasn't you making a video defending Eminem and all the crazy stuff he said when people were trying to cancel him? He was like, oh, well, this is not the first thing that he's said that was wild and off the walls. He spent his whole career saying a bunch of wild stuff, and that's absolutely true. The whole industry has been saying stuff. This is hip-hop. It's not meant for the PC. If you're too sensitive to being here, if you're too sensitive and many things can hurt your feelings, you don't belong here. That's just the simple fact of the matter.
Well, you can't literally just openly call people the F slur on Twitter and then tell them to hashtag commit suicide, so you can see he got ratioed pretty goddamn hard off the jump, because this was uncalled for, man. You know, there was...
It's also uncalled for when people come to on a song and be like, you know what, I'm going to kill your whole family. I'm going to tear you apart. I'm going to F your kids and throw them over the bridge. There's no problem when a bunch of other artists say these things. But all of a sudden, Boosie says it to a gay person and the sky is falling. Wasn't Eminem talking about, why don't you go to a high place, tie some string around your dick, and then jump? That's what Eminem was saying. But you was making videos defending him. So it's always, so how come this is a problem now? All of a sudden, Boosie, a black person, says something about some gay person, and oh my God, the sky is falling. You, as I said earlier, you was like, oh my God, Eminem has said some wild stuff over the years. This is nothing, and that was a part of your whole defense of Eminem. If that's the case, then there shouldn't be any problem.
There's no need for this. At the end of the day, bro, if you have beef with the guy, I get that. Do you need to say some psychotic shit like this? Absolutely not. And when it really comes down to it, I don't get why you would do this. Because you're literally inviting the entirety of not only the music industry, but the entertainment industry to just fucking blackball you. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Even from a financial circumstance, it's just a way of throwing away free money.
Now that I will agree with. You are blackballing yourself when you say that. But clearly Boosie has not been blackballed. It's either because he already knows the avenues that he can go and the avenues that he can't go, and he's made his peace with that. And the stuff that he's saying, it's within the walls of that. Because, I mean, I don't exactly think you've ever seen Boosie on things like MTV. Rappers like Boosie are not going to be on places like that, especially when they're saying things like this. So he's probably made his peace with that. Or people have already said, hey, you can say whatever the heck it is that you want. You get a golden pass. And considering how he has says the most ghetto, the most ratchet, the most uneducated things, that's a believable idea right there.
Right, when you have the following Boosie does, it's easy to make money, right? But when you're constantly saying some wreck shit like this, people really don't want to associate with you. Now, you know, you may or may not think that that's too bad, right? Should he have called him that? I don't think so. I get shit talking, you know, I get beefing and whatnot, but I feel like there's some limits that you really shouldn't cross unless necessary. And I don't see why this was a limit that was necessary to...
As I said before, this is rap, so if you have a problem, that's kind of just too bad. You're in the wrong genre. 2, if that is how you feel, be consistent, because as I said before, you made a whole video defending Eminem. He said things like this over his career that's far worse than this. That's just as bad as this. And you was defending him.
Cross. I mean, sure, was he talking like it's an old Xbox chat or whatever? Yeah, I guess, but it was just simply uncalled for. And this is not the first time, obviously, that he has said some crazy shit like this. He has made multiple degenerative comments towards Lil Nas X over time. And what's even funnier about all of it, right, isn't even the fact that he's making an ass out of himself. It's the fact that Lil Nas X is so unbothered by everything that this guy does that, you know, even when he addresses him, he suddenly trolls him, right? He makes fun of this motherfucker because in all reality, right, let's think about this. Boosie's music career, while more successful than most people, is not superstar status. You know, he's not Lil Nas X. Nobody's giving Boosie a fucking commercial. Boosie is not going, you know, top 3 on the Billboard 200 anytime soon. Boosie is not gonna be seeing, you know, his song be one of the longest charting songs. I think it actually might have been the longest charting at the time, #1 in Billboard history. Of course, if you're Lil Nas X, you don't have to worry about it because you're fucking killing it, right? And I think that that's what really kind of bothers Boosie the most. this man, you know, he hurls all these comments, but at the end of the day, he just isn't better than him, right? It may sound weird for me to...
Okay. I don't think this fool knows what he's saying. If JayJay releases a song today and it doesn't get on Billboard, he is saying that it's Lil Nas X song is better. If Busta Rhymes releases a song and it doesn't make it to Billboard, Lil Nas X song is better. If Cannabis releases an album and it doesn't make it to Billboard, Lil Nas X song is better. If Vanilla Ice was releasing a classic Vanilla Ice, what he was doing back in the day when he was doing Ice Ice Baby and all that, Lil Nas X is better. Lil Nas X could be Corp's husband and fart into a mic, and if it makes it to Billboard, it's better than anything like Cool G Rap did, or anything that Slick Rick will do. Really? Really? Do you know what you're saying? Guys, he is saying that if LL Cool J releases an album today and it doesn't make it on Billboard, that whatever Lil Nas X released in that same time, that whatever, it's better. Really? Because I think you're an idiot. You sound like a bloody idiot. What was, how much money? How much money did it take to promote this dude? How much money did it take to promote Lil Nas X versus Boosie? How much? That tells you why one's on the Billboard and one's not. He's getting more promotion. How much was, okay, how much money did it take to promote him versus how he got what he got back? Because let's be real here. Most artists, whatever album and stuff that they're releasing, they're not making it back. It's flopping in most cases. The last time I checked an album, what was it? On who was making money, it was Cardi B. She was like the only one making money off of albums. That was it. Jay-Z, Kanye West, all of them. They were flopping. But you're here to tell me that, hey, any song that any rapper released, pretty much, if it's not on Billboard, it's not a good rap. It's not a good album. It's not a good song. It's not a good single. It's not a good mixtape. Is what he's saying. It doesn't make any sense. How much promotion? Not to mention, what beats is he using? Lil Nas X is a pop act. That's what he is. Which is something that is not necessarily respected too well in the hip hop community. Again, if you would know, if you knew hip hop, other than, oh well, I listened to a Tribe Called Quest, and NWA, and a couple of other rap groups growing up. If you knew, then you would know this, but you don't. You're just on the mic talking. That's what you're doing.
Say, but Boosie is upset that a gay man is doing better than him, and he freaks the fuck out because he can't stand that. It's a very jealous life that Boosie lives, and it's kind of sad. Well, if you didn't think that was bad enough, right? If you didn't think he was being an asshole when he did that, let me go ahead.
Yeah, Lil Nas X is jealous. Well, excuse me, not Lil Nas X. Boosie could be jealous. You know what? That might be. I'm not really necessarily arguing against that or not against that. You talking about, but you upset that this person's calling him out and all that. Do you not understand what rap is and how highly competitive it is? Why it's so highly competitive? Do you not understand the origins of that? It makes sense that this is happening. Gay or not gay, anything in between, it makes sense considering the origins of that. But you would understand that if you knew so much about this. You listening to a Tribe Called Quest and everything else doesn't mean anything. I don't care what your pops played for you.
And show you this clip. So before I even show you this, I want to explain. He's essentially talking about how the teenage boys in his family, instead of, you know, letting them naturally progress and lose their virginity at an appropriate time, he was basically paying prostitutes to perform sexual acts on the children in his family, including, I believe, his own children. So, yeah, this guy literally paid people to fucking R-word his children and then bragged about it on social media as if like it was a cool thing to do, right? So take a look.
Before you even start having sex, I done show my sons how to put on rubber. Ain't finna get my son no motherfucking shit out here. I'm training them boys right. Ask in there my nephew. Ask in them. Ask my son. Yeah. They were 12, 13. They got head. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Hell yeah, I got my fucking son. You fucking right. Yes, a grown woman. Grown, super grown.
The craziest thing about this clip is the way that he portrays this as if it's fucking normal, man. As if like normal people when their kids turn like 13 are just like, well, you know what? It's time for my son to become a man today. Let me pay an adult female to perform sexual acts on my child, right? Can you imagine if this was, you know, daughters or something like that? Can you imagine if somebody came out and was like, yeah, you know, I've been paying these grown men to perform these sexual acts on my, you know, teenage daughters? This guy would literally not even, he'd probably be in fucking jail, if we're being honest. He would be in jail. Like, it's absolutely fucking absurd to me that this guy has openly said some shit like this and, like, people are still cool with him. You know what I mean? Like, you can make jokes like, oh, I wish, you know, that happened to me. I wish that I was getting that or whatever. People do make jokes like that, but at the end of the day, man, this is fucking weird, okay? This is not normal or acceptable behavior whatsoever, and I just find it completely fucking mind-boggling that social media will cancel somebody for saying something on accident, will cancel somebody for saying something 10 years ago, will cancel somebody for the most minor inconvenience, but yet guys like this are not only verified on Twitter, but are just fucking out here on the daily just saying stupid shit and getting an audience for it. And I know that to a certain extent, maybe I'm also at fault because I am making a YouTube video talking about it and giving him even more attention by doing this, but at the end of the day, man, it's time that somebody calls this fucking dude out, right? Like, this is just absurd. Boosie talks as if he's more important than what he really is, right? Like, he thinks he's some sort of, like, legend or something crazy. Boosie has this, like, mentality for some reason that he's fucking Pac, that he's Kanye. And in reality, he's probably not even a top 500 artist living alive today, right? Like, so you may be wondering, Optimus, well, how do you become this fucking mad? How do you become this hateful of a person, such an odd person, right? Well, I'm assuming that he probably wasn't raised very well. I'm just gonna assume that because, well, I mean, anyone who thinks that fucking having their child R-word by prostitutes to make them a man or whatever automatically just crossed them off the let me be a parent list, but like I said, this is one jealous ass man, okay? He's been spending his whole career saying completely fucking psychotic and absurd things. You know, every time he really trends on Twitter or gets any sort of attention from the public, it's because he's making an ass out of himself. So, you know, you got Lil Nas X who, yeah, given he's got his fair share of controversies, a lot of people don't like him for somewhat justifiable reasons, but at the end of the day, he makes shit that people want to listen to. He makes art that people want to listen to. And you can't take that away from him. I have never once got in the car, someone hands me the aux, and they're like, play that new Boosie, bro. Nah, that's just not happening.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to argue that was wrong. Nobody's arguing. The reason why he hasn't actually been canceled with that is because we're in a world where nobody cares about men. Especially black men. Because when this dude actually was called out for this before, I mean, we was all throwing stones at him, at the guy, but we never actually did say, you know what? Not only should we be throwing stones at him, but we should be throwing stones at the girl who actually said, you know what? I'm going to get a bag and actually do this. You can do anything that you want with men. Men are disposable. That's kind of why that's happened. I don't know anybody that would actually defend him with that, but if you do, I think you off your rocker too. I would actually agree with that. This is where, yeah, I can agree that Boosie was wrong for doing that. Now, he talking about how, oh, I've never heard anybody say, turn on that Boosie. You know what? I really haven't heard anybody actually that interested in Lil Nas X at all. I've heard people get interested in Old Town Road. I heard people interested in that. Everything else, the only time people are listening to that is because he said something wild. Lil Nas X said something wild and he was trending on Twitter. Everybody was making videos about how he's harmful to the youth and whatnot, and people listened to that song and that song went viral. And he was promoted like crazy. Nobody's listening to Lil Nas X. Nobody wants Lil Nas X like that either. Besides, what are your music tastes? Is it pop or is it real hip hop? It will kind of explain why you've never heard anybody say, let's turn on that new Boosie, or it would actually explain why people said, let's turn on Lil Nas X.
Maybe in Boosie's hometown or something like that, they love him like this, but bro, you're not what you think you are, okay? And when Boosie sees somebody that he believes is inferior to him, you know, in this instance, Lil Nas X being a gay man, he believes that he can use that leverage to like one-up them. But I mean, at this point, right, Lil Nas X cannot be one-upped unless you're fucking like Drake or The Weeknd, like Olivia Rodrigo, somebody like that. You're not fucking topping Lil Nas X. He's already here. He's here to stay. He's proved that. He's released multiple songs. They've all done well. His album just fucking debuted, either #2 or maybe even #1 on the Billboard 200. He doesn't give a fuck, right? He's having the time of his life. He's doing commercials. He's tweeting funny shit. People love him, but Boosie, you know, he can't one-up him, so inside that really eats him alive. He doesn't know how to process the fact that, you know, somebody he believes is inferior might be better than him. And it's okay, you know, sometimes you gotta admit that you're not who you thought you were, right? And that, you know, you got fucked, right? You lost. It happens. It's part of life. But to Boosie, that cannot happen, because if it does, in his own head, it tears down that ego he's built up, right? It tears him apart on the inside to think that that person he believes is inferior might be better than him. And so Boosie lives a sad, sad life, right? You know, sure, he might have a little bit of money. He might have a little bit of clout, right? He might have that, but he doesn't have that self-love that he so badly wants. And he takes that out on Lil Nas X. And it's kind of crazy to me, man. So I just wanted to talk about.
And he's assuming that record sales mean how much that you actually mean to the hip-hop culture and how much that you don't mean to the hip-hop culture. What he does not understand is that Lil Nas X has no respect in the house of hip-hop. He might have some respect on some of these little teeny bopper kids. He might have some respect with them, but he doesn't have respect in the house of real hip-hop. He doesn't understand that. Optimus doesn't understand that because he doesn't understand hip-hop. And also, as I've been saying before, you can't measure success because, oh, well, I was on the Billboard. You can measure how much money you may or may not have. And even then, that doesn't measure that because you owe your label for promoting you until you get that #1 spot. Honestly, you do. How much is the label taking out of that money? Also, you can one-up him. He can get in a rap battle. We can see who's the better MC. And it doesn't matter how much money that you can make off of rapping. It doesn't change the fact that you're a subpar rapper if you can't beat certain rappers. Which is actually part of the reason why, hey, I'm wondering why in the world is Boosie not taking this to wax? Why aren't you getting on the mic and dissing this dude? And the same thing for Lil Nas X. If you think that you're superior than him, why aren't you getting on the mic and proving that? When LL Cool J felt that he was superior to Cannabis, what did he do? He got on the mic, made that stuff known. That's what you do.
This because honestly, bro, I will never take any sort of moral standing from somebody who once again had their children R-word by fucking prostitutes, okay? So I just don't get why people support this guy, right? Like, he's just a fucking asshole. Like, he doesn't do anything to redeem it. He's just a genuinely toxic person. And I'm just stuck on why he's still even relevant. I guess realistically, I answer my own question by making this YouTube video, but man, goddamn, is it hard not to, right? So with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. Well, just not understanding Boosie and signing out.
Well, YouTube, this is JayJay from channel JayJay, and I'm just not understanding the intelligence of Optimus, and I'm signing out.